Hello, it's nice to meet you all again. Oil is often referred to as black gold, a simple comparison that is enough to highlight the importance of this liquid. So, what would happen if oil disappeared tomorrow? Many people might think, oh, running out of oil would be great, the world would be 1,000 times greener and cleaner than it is now. Are you sure? You can ride an electric car instead of a gasoline car, but have you ever seen an electric airplane? The items you order from abroad are transported in containers carried on container ships weighing hundreds of thousands of tons, and those ships run on diesel oil, a product of petroleum. Maybe you don't need to fly, and you never order goods from abroad, but you have to remember, if oil disappeared, all petroleum-based products, along with natural gas, would also be gone. That means you would lose all of the following: most types of plastics, from plastic used to make tables and chairs, cups, bottles, flexible plastics for electrical wire insulation to asphalt, nylon polyester fibers, and other synthetic fibers used to make clothes, aspirin, antihistamines, many antibiotics, suppositories, cough syrup, creams, ointments, and painkillers are also produced thanks to the petrochemical industry. Tires. 40% of the rubber used to make tires is natural rubber, but 60% is synthetic rubber produced from petroleum. Many cleaning products, hygiene products such as laundry powder, laundry detergent, hand wash, dishwashing liquid, shampoo, paint, inks with a petroleum smell, 70 to 90% base oils used to produce engine oils, 80 to 90% of industrial grease ingredients used to lubricate machine parts are extracted from petroleum. In total, there are more than 6,000 products in 21 different groups made from petroleum or containing petroleum-based components. The biggest advantage of petroleum is that it is extremely energy dense. A barrel of crude oil, 159 liters, stores energy equivalent to 1,300 kilowatt hours, enough for a family of 4 to use for a month.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Similarly, 1 liter of gasoline contains about 9 kilowatt hours of energy, enough to boil about 80 liters of water. Humans began extracting oil in 1850, and in the 174 years since then, coal, oil, and natural gas have helped the entire human civilization reach its current state. If all the oil disappeared tomorrow, the world would become chaotic in unimaginable ways. First, the world would lose an industry worth about 1,500 billion USD. 11.5 million people would immediately become unemployed, and the transportation sector would face a severe crisis as 80 to 90% of the world's goods are transported by sea, and the disappearance of oil, the fuel for diesel engines, fundamentally cannot be compensated for in the short term. If transportation is halted, fruits and crops will rot in fields, farms, and warehouses, while food and humanitarian crises occur globally. We have electric cars, and some trucks and trains run on electricity. But without ships, food from agricultural hubs like India, Thailand, and Vietnam cannot reach the rest of the world. At this point, seafood will also become scarce due to the restricted operation of fishing vessels. Global trade will stagnate, and the world's economy will fall into the worst crisis since the Great Depression of 1929 to 1939. Daily travel and commuting might be slightly better. With the trend of electric vehicles on the rise in recent years, the world is truly creating a smokeless movement trend. However, numbers don't lie. Worldwide, as of 2023, only 3 out of every 100 cars on the road are electric. Even in Norway, the country with the fastest electrification rate, where 93% of cars sold in 2023 were electric, the proportion of electric cars on the road is only 29%. If you think electric car manufacturers will be delighted, you are mistaken. Many crucial components in electric cars, such as plastic parts, electrical insulation, capacitor insulation, and electric car battery separators, are made from petroleum and natural gas. Transporting car parts from all over the world to assembly plants, and shipping finished cars across the ocean also requires oil. In the short term, supermarkets will quickly empty, goods will become scarce, causing prices to skyrocket, and most people will not be able to work due to economic stagnation. Eliminating air, sea, and road transport means goods cannot be traded on a medium and large scale. Short-distance transportation by electric trucks and trains in limited numbers will frequently face bottlenecks. Globally, in 2022, only 4.5% of buses and 1.2% of trucks sold were electric, which certainly cannot handle the workload left by fossil fuel-powered vehicles. If you think food is just a small matter, consider that without ships, planes, and trains, medicines, vaccines, medical supplies, and many essential products for our healthy living will also become extremely scarce. So, what is the solution for a world without oil? You can probably guess the answer. That's right, it's biofuels. Electric cars might be the perfect solution for short and medium distance travel, like personal cars, buses, tour cars, and even trucks. But batteries are very heavy, and weight is the enemy of airplanes. Ships can carry hundreds of thousands of tons, but to transport that much cargo worldwide, you need a lot of energy, which means a lot of batteries. And a lot of batteries mean a very heavy ship that cannot carry much cargo. According to Statista, global biofuel production has gradually increased from 180,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day in 2000 to 1.9 million barrels of oil equivalent per day in 2022. An impressive number, but that's only 2% of the world's oil production in 2023, about 81.8 million barrels per day. Ironically, to rapidly boost biofuel production, we need to quickly build super factories, as well as extract and transport massive amounts of raw materials. However, to transport such large quantities, we still need ships and trucks powered by diesel fuel. One important material that cannot be produced on today's scale if oil and gas production suddenly plummets, let alone disappears, is plastic. The world produced about 450 million tons of plastic in 2023, and only 0.5% of that is bioplastic, which does not originate from the oil and gas industry. Even though plastic waste is a problem of the modern world, having no plastic would be much worse. Not using plastic bags is fine, but no water pipes, plastic bottles, buckets, electrical insulation, and a bunch of plastic toys and household items would certainly be a problem. Worse, furniture, building materials, paint, computers, mobile phones, bicycles, motorcycles, cars, airplanes, all use plastic. Without nylon fibers, countless types of clothing, underwear, swimwear, raincoats, conveyor belts, and safety belts, airbags in cars, parachutes, ropes, tarps, and fishing nets would also be produced in extremely limited quantities. Just look around you. How many things are made of plastic or contain plastic? The answer is most things, and this time people will certainly learn to save. The good news is that most things made from petroleum can also be made from plants and agricultural and forestry waste, such as vegetable oils, cornstarch, straw, rice husks, wood chips, sawdust, molasses, and sugarcane bagasse, which can be used to produce gasoline, oil, and bioplastics. However, it may take decades for biofuel and bioplastic production to meet global demand. Another obstacle is energy. According to Visual Capitalist, the oil and gas industry, including oil and gas, is generating up to a quarter of the world's electricity. If oil and gas fields suddenly disappeared, coal would have to bear the load of oil and gas before solar and wind power could develop. However, when the economy stagnates, global electricity demand also decreases, or at least grows slowly enough for the electricity sector to catch up. In summary, the world has depended on oil and gas for nearly 200 years, so it is hard to imagine if they suddenly disappeared. However, such a scenario is unlikely to occur in reality. Most international commitments to combat climate change aim for 2050, indicating that planners are confident that the world can continue to develop without relying on fossil fuels in the next 2 to 3 decades. What do you think about the scenario where oil disappears tomorrow? Please leave your comments below. As always, please like this video if you found it interesting, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to watch other content. For now, goodbye and see you next time.